Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Pythagorean theorem. So basically, the Pythagorean theorem states that the sum of the squares of the legs of a right triangle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Or in other words, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, assuming that a and b are the legs of the right angle triangle and c is the hypotenuse. Keep in mind that a and b, the legs, are always the two shortest sides, and the hypotenuse c is always the longest side. So that's how we can tell a and b apart from c, is that c refers to hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is the longest side. So here's an example here where they ask us to find the missing leg. So in this case, the legs are 8 and 15, and the hypotenuse is c. So we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. In this case, that means that 8 squared plus 15 squared is equal to c squared. Now, 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. And 15 squared is 15 times 15, which is 225. Now, 225 plus 64 is equal to 289. So 289 is equal to c squared. Then, if we take the square root of both sides, we get that c is equal to 17, because 17 times 17 is equal to 289. So therefore, the missing side length is 17 feet. And that seems about right, because for the hypotenuse, we are expecting to get a number that is higher than the other two numbers, but also not higher than the numbers when they're combined. Let's do a second example. Here they'd like us once again to find the missing side length. But in this situation, it looks like we have the hypotenuse, which is 26, as our longest side here. We also have one of the legs, which is 10. And in this case, it's b we're missing. It's one of the legs that we're missing, not the hypotenuse. So once again, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So that means that 10 squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, or 26 squared. 10 squared is 10 times 10, so that's 100. And 26 squared is 26 times 26. And if we put that in our calculator, we get that that is 676. Then if I subtract 100 from both sides, I get that b squared is equal to 576. And then when I take the square root of 576, and you can use a calculator for this, feel free, we get 24, that b is equal to 24 centimeters. And so there we go. There's our missing side. A couple key considerations here. Keep in mind that this method only works for right angle triangles, so it's crucial that when we're using this method, we see the right angle triangle. It's also crucial that we correctly identify which sides are the two shortest and which side is the longest, because it's the longest side, which is also always going to be the side across from our right angle, that is the hypotenuse. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.